Hello my friends and welcome to the channel. I've recently reported on EV sales being up 300% versus the same month last year. 300%. Now I know that not many of us really understand linear versus exponential growth. The human brain just isn't made for it. That's why I've given my chessboard analogy. Put a single grain of rice on the first square, 2 on the next, double it on the next 4, double on the next 8. How many squares do you have on a chessboard? 68. How many grains of rice will you finally have on the final chessboard square? I've asked this question of hundreds of people. No one's ever been within 95% of the correct answer. Not within 95%. And that's proved the point that human beings simply don't understand exponential growth. We don't. Our brains are just not made for that. Right now, we're in a period in time in which more change, more growth, more disruption is happening than ever before. The world's two largest industries, right? The automotive industry, the transport industry, and the energy industry are being disrupted as we speak in a way that none of us fully understand, including myself, including you. None of us fully understand it because we can't see all the little moving parts and all the things that are happening. We hear news headlines, but we don't fully understand exactly what's going on. Very few people understand exactly what's happening in the energy sector because everyone seems to still believe in nuclear, still believe in gas, and still think we need coal. It's nonsense. We don't. Renewable energy is already a cheaper form of energy, and it's going to get exponentially cheaper over the next decade, thanks in large part to enormous cost declines in battery technology. Remember, solar has declined in cost by 89% over the past decade. 89% over the past decade. Now, cheaper to build a solar farm and to continue running a coal plant. Cheaper to build and to continue running a coal plant. We're going to see similar things in the automotive industry. Now, this is what's happening right now. In Australia, mindsets are very backwards. I had this conversation tonight at my boys' local sports training, BMX training. One of the parents was telling me it's never going to happen. And I said to him, well, considering Europe is banning diesel and petrol cars by 2035, maybe 2030, Canada is banning them by 2030, Norway is banning them, China predicts they'll have 90% EV sales by 2030, America is now saying 50%, which is nonsense, so it'll be higher than that. But anyway, how will you have any choice in the matter? It won't be up to you to decide. It will be up to countries where mass manufacturing of these cars is happening. Where is it happening? Europe, China, and to some degree America, but more so in China and Europe. So the market is dictating. People are choosing right now to buy electric cars at higher prices. They are at high prices for the most part now, versus their electric and diesel counterparts. The global EV market now stands at 7%. That is a huge change versus what it was at last year, which is around about 5%. By the end of this year, most forecasts predict will be at 9% battery-powered vehicles as a percentage of all sales. Now remember, the only company on the planet that's hit under $100 per kilowatt hour for batteries is BYD. No one else has gotten there yet as far as I'm aware. As far as we're aware, no one else has hit that point. Coincidentally, BYD is also one of the only companies in the world that's able to sell its battery-powered vehicles at the same price as it is its petrol and diesel-powered vehicles. So what happens over the next few years as battery costs continue to come down? Every car company in the world will be able to sell battery-powered vehicles at either the same cost or a lower cost to its petrol and diesel vehicles. So now, this is starting in backwards Australia. Yes, we're very backwards here. Unfortunately, we seem to take a lot longer than other places to understand technology. That's a true fact in many, many areas. But with more models than ever before, Australians are actually starting to embrace electric cars in record numbers. Electric vehicles continue to sell in record numbers here, posting strong results in July 2021 according to data from the Federal Chamber of Automotive Industries, VFACTS. VFACTS reports a total of 515 electric vehicles sold in July, which is up 273%, bringing the annual running total to 2,732. Now, this excludes Tesla, which is our highest seller by far, as the American car maker does not supply sales figures. Now, this is a very strong result, even though it doesn't sound like it, with sales tripling compared to the same time last year. were up 200.6%. And it comes on the back of more model availability as mainstream brands begin to roll out their electric vehicles. Now, leading the way is Tesla Model 3, followed by the MG ZS EV, which is a Chinese EV, and it recorded 132 sales in July for an annual total of 860. Now remember, BYD is bringing in their electric vehicles very shortly to the country because they're aware of the demand here and the opportunity in this market. MG just had a huge shipment of EVs come through into Sydney. They brought in more cars than they'd sold over the past 6 months combined because of the demand they have. Now, Porsche's all-electric Taycan recorded 45 sales in July, a running total of 414 for the year to date. The Taycan is on track to become the highest-selling vehicle in its class, trailing only the BMW 5 Series with 426 sales and the Mercedes-Benz E-Class with 588 sales in the large premium sedan segment. But remember, the Taycan costs way more than the 5 Series and the E-Class. Other electric vehicles experiencing positive growth include the Nissan Leaf with 48 sales in July for a total of 287, up 33% year on year. Mercedes-Benz even is enjoying a strong entry into the EV segment with their pretty poor EQA SUV. It is, in my 21 vehicle test, you'll see I compare that car to 20 other vehicles and it didn't come up very well in most areas, but is still a better choice than most of their diesel and petrol offerings, in fact probably all of them. And it's recorded 175 sales so far this year. It's only been on sale for a few months. 168 sales for its larger EQC SUV as well. Other newcomers to the segment include Kia. The Korean brand has reported it sold 104 of its all-electric Niro SUVs in the 3 months since going on sale in May. That's bolstered by a further 98 sales of the Niro Hybrid and 19 plug-in hybrids. Overall, plug-in hybrid sales continue to rise with 1,765 sold so far in 2021, which is an increase of 99% over the same time last year. Now, hybrid vehicle sales continue to set the pace in Australia in electrification, with a total of 42,000 sales in 2021, up 40%. However, the growth in electric vehicle sales has seen this year's number already eclipse the total number of sales last year. In 2020, a total of 1,770 EVs were reported as sold, excluding Tesla. However, Tesla sold 3,430 EVs in 2020, which makes an annual total of 5,200, around 0.6% of the new car market. However, this year in 2021, we're set to see that increase to around about 1.5%. Now remember my analogy at the start of the video? 1 grain of rice, 2 grains of rice, 4 grains of rice. We're seeing similar compound growth here happening with EV sales in Australia. And although we're only at a small number now, that number will grow very, very quickly, as it will in other countries and as it is in other countries. Have a look at the growth of EVs in China. They now represent 9% of the entire market, 9%. So if you're going to invest your money anywhere, think hard about where you do it. Energy is being disrupted. Automotive and transport are being disrupted. Enormous potential to make a lot of money in those areas over the next decade as money moves from here to here. Stay tuned to my videos talking about how you can profit from this situation over the next 9 years before we get to the magical point, 2030, where I believe all cars being sold worldwide will be EVs, mostly powered by renewable energy. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.